podcast is brought to you by Diversum Partners, where your success is their priority. Partner with Diversum to access trusted top-tier crypto and fiat affiliate programs and get a custom deal tailored just for you. Join today at diversumpartners.com.
In the next 5 years, like all the new casinos coming to market, they will be crypto casinos.
You're listening to the Affiliate Marketing Podcast brought to you by affiliatemedia.com, the chapter and verse of everything you need to know about running a successful affiliate program for your business. Now, here's your award-winning affiliate and performance marketing host, an industry veteran, your affiliate marketing guide, and the founder of Affiverse, Leanne Johnston.
Are you ready to unlock the future of iGaming and crypto? In today's podcast episode, we're about to take you on a wild ride through the cutting edge of blockchain technology and community-driven marketing. I've got Roman German from MBG Digital in the hot seat, and trust me, he's about to drop some serious knowledge bombs about the wild world of crypto casinos. We're also chatting about how blockchain is making everything more transparent and speedy in the gaming world. And get this, Roman thinks every new casino might be crypto-powered in just 5 years' time. Whether you're an affiliate marketer, a casino operator, or simply crypto curious, this episode is brimming with insights that you cannot afford to overlook. So prepare yourself to glimpse the future of iGaming. The crypto revolution is unfolding, and after this episode, you'll be equipped to navigate this wave with confidence. Welcome back to this week's Affiliate Marketing Podcast. And today I've got a really great guest, Roman German, who is the Chief Product Officer of MBG Digital, and also an expert in crypto gaming, and who knows a lot about what's happening on the blockchain. We'll be deep diving into some of the hottest topics in crypto this season, from tokens to community marketing and more. Roman, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, me too. So before we get started, I always like to ask a similar question to every guest that I have, which is, how did you get started in the industry, and what has led you to be heading up MBG Digital, which is the home of brands like LuckyBlock.com, Megadice.com, and Instant.com, and the Diversum Partners affiliate program. So give us the backstory.
My backstory goes all the way to 2012, when I became interested in cryptocurrencies. So I used to work in a telecom company in Estonia. So I heard about this strange thing called Bitcoin, and I started buying some Bitcoin every week. So I took 25 euros and bought one Bitcoin was like 7-8 euros. So I did that for a while, and I was just generally curious about technology and what this cryptocurrency stuff could do. And then a few years later, I was looking to switch jobs, and pretty much I looked into if there are any crypto companies in Tallinn, the city where I live. And basically there was only one back then, so it was 2017. And incidentally, it was a crypto gambling company now called the Euro Group. I used to work there for a few years, and now I'm in MBG Digital. I got into the industry because of cryptocurrencies, and I wouldn't say that if we talk about the gambling industry that I've been like in my whole life super interested about gambling, but what I am super interested in is crypto, and cryptocurrencies are just one really important aspect of gambling nowadays. There's a lot of stuff that can be done. There's lots of benefits to it. And I think that's also something why I decided to join MBG Digital and why I'm part of this team partners, because we see that when we launch iGaming brands, that we combine them together with different crypto tokens, and this kind of provides us with this big, symbiosis or something like that. So that's why I'm here.
Quite interesting, because the gaming industry has always been an early adopter. I mean, they were one of the first industries to actually get into online 20 years ago, when the internet really started and when I started out in my career. But they always seem to be the first industry to test, to scope, to innovate. So it's quite interesting that you fell into this industry by accident, but because you were looking at innovation and looking at the blockchain when it first started becoming a trend. So I'm really excited to have you on this podcast today, because we've seen that crypto casinos are gaining significant traction in recent years, and particularly amongst a younger generation of players, so the 21-year-olds to 30-year-old generation. Why do you think these platforms are so focused on building communities around their brand? Because a lot of the previous guests that we've had on this podcast have really stressed the importance of having community alongside the branding bit of the affiliate program, and especially through the creation of tokens, which you've just now mentioned. How does the strategy differ from traditional fiat brands that are getting into the marketplace and not using blockchain technology? So do you think it's a cultural shift that's happening because the consumer is younger? Or do you just think that it's something that's an evolution that's moving forward as the internet continues to expand and grow up?
I think the name of the game is attention and getting people's attention. So basically, traditional casinos did it one way, but as the competition is getting tougher and tougher, so we need to figure out new ways of how to get this attention. So as there are like more things people, it doesn't matter old or young, people can do online, it means that everybody still has 24 hours per day. So it means that they will have less time to focus on one single thing. So I think when you try to think about it from that perspective, then you eventually understand that, okay, what's the thing that people want to spend their time on? And I think the thing is communities. So there can be different types of communities. So there are communities for older people, communities for younger people. But the common thing is that if you're part of a community, you have like something to talk about with others. So like something common. So you have a common story that you can participate in, and you can live and hope, like not only for your own stuff to go well, but for other stuff to go well as well. So I think this community building around crypto, casinos and tokens, it tries to benefit from this. If we get people into the community, we will have people who will be vouching for our product. We will have people who are going to be fans of our product. And if they find something else cool online, they wouldn't simply leave, because it might be easy to leave a product, but it's not so easy to leave a community, because you will be leaving all your friends and like colleagues.
So it's almost like an extension. And the crypto community is very tight-knit. There's a lot of content on the internet about people in the crypto space. And even within the crypto space, there's little micro communities that are happening. And some believe some things and some believe others. But it does really feel like our marketing, not guidelines, but our marketing practices need to change. And that the internet's been around for 20 years, but people are moving away from just being pulled into a content stream, seeing an ad on a Facebook or a Google or whatever, and then saying, oh, I like what I'm seeing and let me click, and then go to a place and then be expected to purchase. It's almost like we have to work a little bit harder to convince people as to why they need to engage. And community building seems to be this trend that we're exploring in the season, which is being fostered really heavily in the crypto space compared to any other channel or any other vertical that I'm currently seeing online, from travel to e-commerce to whatever. And I think it's almost pioneering the way that we are going to change marketing principles, because people do buy people, and we are going backwards from all of the kind of big technology and ad serving and tracking and all the things that we got in the sort of like early 2000s and the mid 2000s. And we're moving away from all of that to get really hyper personalized with people and what people want and how people value things. So to me, that's the interesting trend that's actually come out of this podcast this season. But you mentioned something around tokens. Now, a lot of people listening to us probably don't really understand what the token part of the blockchain is. So maybe can you just give us a little bit of a understanding of what that is and how it works, and then why it's connected into the community aspect?
Okay. So basically, the token, you can think of this as a cryptocurrency that is created specifically by an internet casino.
Yeah.
So it's a currency like USD or euros, but the owner of this currency is the internet casino. Okay. And how they usually do it is that when creating this currency, you create a system where you are not the sole owner, but you give the currency also to your users. So that's where the community aspects comes into play. So basically what we try to do is, when we create our own crypto token for the community, then let's say based on the amount of time people have spent playing on the casino, for example, we might reward them with a token. So let's say we look at, 6 months back and see, okay, these people wagered this amount of money in our products, we will give them this amount of tokens. So the other people who spent less, we will give them less amount of tokens. So that's how it ties together. And I think why this is so interesting to the actual players is that they have, I think, several ways to benefit from that. So one aspect is the kind of financial aspect of what you have in this crypto world, is like people hoping to benefit out of the price of the token going up. So of course, if you're the owner of this token, then you will tell your friends about this. And the more you tell about them, the bigger the chances that the price goes up. So that's one of the aspects. But the second aspect is, if you're already a customer of our casino, then we give you some special kinds of rewards or bonuses that are tied together to this token that you otherwise wouldn't get. So you win-win both ways, either if you keep and hold the token or if you spend the token, because you can use it as a payment option inside the casino as well.
Okay, so it's twofold. So it's the value of the token currency based on everybody in the community that's using it and leveraging it. And then it's also the rewards and loyalty, the retention value as well. So it has a value on its own, but it also converts into loyalty points, rewards, things that you can exchange in real term value in terms of like merchandise or whatever it is, experiences, whatever it is. So how do these measurements align with player engagement for overall growth on the platform? So how do you decide what the token value is? Is that something that is based on the community usage figures? How does the value get determined of what that token is?
They're usually actually, I would say, largely saying 2 steps to it. So in the beginning, when you come up with a token, you do something which is called the pre-sale, so token pre-sale. So at that point, you define the price of the token yourself. Let's say you might say something that 1 token is worth $1.
Yeah.
And if you want, in addition to this, the previous, what we called airdropping methods, like giving out the token for free. In addition to that, you usually do the pre-sale, which allows people to actually spend their money, buy the token. Usually this is done in steps. So you might say like early bird special, 1 token, $1. Then you put some deadline on it and you say that, okay, after this date, it's actually $1, but it's not 1 token anymore, but it's half a token or something like that. So the price goes up. But it happens like in stages. And at some point, what happens is that you take the token and you put it to a crypto exchange to be like openly traded. At that point, the price is the market price. So it will depend on how many people will buy it versus how many will sell it. So if more people will sell it, price will go down. If more people will buy it, the price will go up. And of course, you as the kind of casino and as the majority holder of this token, you also have some say in it, right? Because if you, for a community, if you build something cool for the casino, then your community will be happy because they will get something new and something to get excited about. And they will most likely then not sell their tokens, but buy more from the market, right? So they would then go and buy more, meaning the price would go up. But if you don't really improve your casino product and, I don't know, it stagnates, then these people might want to go somewhere else eventually. So sell the tokens that they already have and price would go down. So if you basically come out with a token, you have this incentive to keep on innovating or keep on bringing new and interesting stuff to your community.
So it's almost like accountability. You're almost making yourself accountable to your customers to develop your product, to develop your services, to come up with great entertainment so that they continue to actually invest in the brand and become advocates for the brand, bringing other people into the community as well, which is really clever. But does this only apply to gaming, or could like other companies create a token and start a loyalty rewards program that has a value? Because a loyalty and rewards program anywhere else wouldn't have a token that's also of value. You know, you earn points and the points get traded when you get enough points after doing whatever it is that you're doing. So this really adds an additional flavor. And what I'd like to see is more affiliate programs actually tokenizing their affiliate program and rewarding affiliates this way, like we do for our customers. Because when you do it, you're building advocacy for your affiliate program too. So I'm finding this quite interesting. Does it cost a lot of money to set up a token for your business, or is it just something that anybody can do? Like, what's the structure and the use case?
I guess there's several answers to it. So you can go to YouTube and type in how to create your own crypto token, and you will get some tutorials. And basically, it's super simple. So if you don't know how to program, that doesn't matter. So you just need to know how to type in English and follow instructions. So you
ChatGPT it.
Exactly. Yeah. You could create it like in an hour. So I think that's one aspect of the answer. But if you actually run your own company, would you trust something that you do yourself based on a YouTube video? So maybe not. So if you go out and hire specialists to do it, then of course it will cost considerably more.
Okay.
But I think we are talking from the iGaming aspect, but I totally agree that it doesn't matter if we're talking about the gambling industry or something else. You could use the same concept on many different things and you would have the same exact benefits.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the younger generation, because I think a lot of marketers that are experienced, and I've got 20 years experience like me, so I'm talking about people my age. And if you're not watching this on video and you're listening to it, I'm pushing my late 40s. Why do you think younger generations need to be communicated in a way that they understand and identify with? Because how I identify with the internet and the age group that I grew up, engaging with the internet is very different to how a 25-year-old or even a 30-year-old, it's almost like 2 generations back from me. And they want different things from different brands, and they demand certain levels of service and rewards, basically. So why do you think younger generation of gaming clients are more inclined to get behind the concept of community right now? And why are they buying into the tokens in the crypto space? Is it the value, as in the financial value of the token, that's driving it? Or are there other aspects to it that are making it more attractive for clients to engage with brands that are at the forefront of this crypto and blockchain revolution that we're seeing?
I think you kind of answered it yourself. There's definitely 2 sides to it, where one side is the financial side. So that, let's say, if you're a person that's interested in going to an online casino, then if you have to decide a traditional casino or a one where you have your own crypto token and you're the owner of the token, and if things go well, you might financially benefit. So I think that's definitely one aspect to it. And the other aspect is once you've already tried it once and you see the community that these guys have, everybody else talking about the token, coming up with their ideas, how to improve the product and so on. So I think maybe they come for the financial hopes, but they stay for the community.
It's almost like it's self-propelling the brand forward with very little traditional marketing activity in terms of the crowd that's behind the token and the brand are actually driving the innovation of the brand forward. So having a say, basically, is what's actually attractive to the younger audience that's coming up through the ranks. Whereas me, I'm used to being told what I want on the internet because that's the generation that I came up through. So I really want people listening to this podcast to think about how they position their marketing and how they position their campaign structures as well. Just stop doing traditional marketing where you just say, here's the offer, use it or lose it, or here's the offer, you can take it or leave it, and actually start thinking about how they build community around their programs and around their brands too.
Instead of coming up with an offer, why not ask the community, if you have the community, what do you think a good offer might be?
It's a very good point, because we do as marketers want to tell people what we want them to deliver or take up or think, because we want to own the innovation part. But actually, if you did stop and listen and ask your audience what they want, whether it's an affiliate, a player, whoever it is, a customer, you'd probably get a very different answer and have a very different perspective of how your product or your service is being viewed in the wider marketplace. And I think every marketer needs to be reminded to actually shush and listen instead of promote and push. So I think that's really good advice. So let's talk about the transparency in crypto, because a lot of people, one of the benefits that I've been told, and my knowledge on crypto is way less than yours, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a lot of transparency that happens on the blockchain in terms of how things are tracked and seen. And I think that's another attractive point that we can talk about, especially in rewards and retention. How does that play a part of the stuff that you guys are doing at MBG Digital on your brands?
Definitely, cryptocurrencies are super transparent compared to regular or fiat currencies. So we can see all of if you take a crypto token or a cryptocurrency, you can see all of the transactions happening with this currency. So if you know somebody's crypto wallet address, you basically get to peek inside it. You see how much money they have, and you see how much have they sent somewhere else, or how much has different other wallets sent money to them. So it's very transparent. Having this transparency has several benefits. For example, if you talk about casinos, you might benefit. So basically, one aspect is if you talk about rewards, if you use your own token to pay out the rewards, then basically everybody can go and look at your company wallet address and see how much are you actually paying out the rewards. So one thing is saying that, I don't know, we're paying 5% or 10% or 20% of our revenues as rewards. But the totally other thing is that you actually have the possibility to go and check it out.
And that actually breeds trust, because there's a lot of mistrust in the gaming industry because nothing is transparent. Everything's behind a paywall or behind a login or behind a reporting dashboard. Whereas this actually is available and it's easily accessible to everybody that's in the crowd, in the actual community that's invested or vested, should I say. What about other things like, and this is more specifically for affiliates, and I'm pretty sure that they must be quite happy about this, because if everything's transparent, it's also kind of immediate. My understanding of how the crypto industry works is that you can transfer money and it's available immediately, or you can transfer the crypto points or whatever, and it's available immediately, which does impact a lot of the things that affiliates can do. Because if you're working with affiliates and paying them in crypto and they're getting their money immediately and can exchange that and invest it back into campaigns for your brand, it must increase the pace at which a casino can grow as well, especially if they're finding good quality traffic or good quality campaigns that are converting well. Whereas in other industries right now, sometimes the payment period is 30, 60, 90 days. And for most affiliates, having working capital in their business that they can go and invest in opportunities that they're finding traffic to convert, that's kind of like everybody's dream, right? To be paid immediately and not have to wait 30 days on an invoice. So are you seeing that's also propelling the brands forward much quicker?
100%, yes. So for crypto, yes, what you just explained, we call it settlement. So we're talking about regular money. Let's say you go to the store and buy some milk, then from your bank account, the money gets deducted immediately, but actually the merchant doesn't get the money maybe for a few days or up to, as you said, like a month. So this goes even worse if we're talking about international business. So let's say if you want to, do business in one country yourself, you're from Europe and you want to do business in Brazil or in Asia somewhere. So then you might have these settlements taking not even 30 days, but you might have 90 days and so on. And we've seen cases where basically people have already provided value, but because the money got for 90 days in this payment provider side, they went bankrupt. So as a result, you waited for 90 days and then find out that actually you don't get the money. So with crypto, you don't have anything like that. So it's instantaneous once the money is sent over. So depending on the cryptocurrency, the settlement happens immediately as well. So it's a matter of seconds up to minutes. And as a result, you can be sure that the money is really there. Yeah, I always like to give this example. Like if we would think about government, usually people retire at some age, and I don't know, depending on country, but in my country, if you are retired, you get paid by the government once per month. Why is it like that? It's because of historically when people were paid in cash, right? So it's very difficult to give out money like more frequently. So they settled it once a month. But with crypto, let's say if people retire, you could basically pay them once per day, or why not once per minute? And as a result, maybe you would solve some problems that you would still end up giving the same amount of money. But I don't know if there are people who immediately spend their money once they get their payment. Then if you give them a little bit every day,
they can manage it better.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit now, because I want to have a look at the bigger picture, because it's all fun and that this is working and seemingly growing extremely fast in the gaming industry, which is an early adopter area of the internet. How do you see blockchain and Web 3.0 shaping the future of iGaming and other industries as a whole? And what trends do you think will become the norm in this industry? Because we're still in the adoption phase. I mean, I see more and more brands coming to market with crypto already enabled in their backends for their checkouts and deposits and all the rest of it. But how do you think this is going to become more mainstream? Because it still is 5 years later, and I've been talking about crypto for about 5 years and looking at blockchain for about 5 years, very high level, not going too deep, and certainly not as deep as you. I'm still not seeing mass adoption within like the world. So are we still looking at this as a 10 to 15 year plan? Or do you think that it's just going to take a little while for everything to mesh together? Or do you think it's always going to remain separate as different niches? How do you see the future of crypto and blockchain moving forward in commerce and everywhere?
Perhaps I'm a bit biased. Personally, I would think that in the next 5 years, like all the new casinos coming to market, they will be crypto casinos. So of course they will have traditional payment methods as well, but like by default, every casino will be a crypto casino. At least that's how I think. But of course there can be special cases depending on where the market is that the casino comes out with. So I don't know, there might be markets where based on your licensing requirement, for some reason, you might not be able to use cryptocurrency as a payment. So I'm not aware at the moment if there are any such license requirements or restrictions, but it's definitely a possibility.
And also some countries are heavily, I read the other day, I think it was Vietnam, is actually a really big crypto-based community out there. And other countries like Latin America where the financial economy isn't secure. And so people are like diversifying out of fiat and just putting their money elsewhere so they've got an alternative solution. So I think it's almost like economic factors are going to dictate whether this does become mainstream or not. And some countries might be ahead of others in terms of how they adopt and legalize and regulate, as you say. So do you think it is like 5 to 10 years away, or do you think it's more like a 15 to 20 year plan?
I would say 5.
5 to 10. Okay. Yeah. That's very interesting because everybody I speak to has a very different opinion. And I guess it's how deep are you into the space and how many projects are you seeing come out? And I'm certainly seeing a lot of casinos launch with crypto already in place. Whereas 2 years ago, it would be a fiat casino that then adopted crypto. And now it's the reverse. So if it is going to move that fast, it's going to be very interesting to see how crypto and blockchain companies integrate with like retail and e-commerce and travel and all sorts of other industries, especially with that payment method, because in the travel industry, payments can sometimes take up to a year. You book your flights almost a year in advance and the affiliate only gets paid after you fly. It could revolutionize the way that e-commerce works online and how online transitions into something completely different. So finally, Roman, do you have any insights or stats on how user behavior is evolving in online and particularly with crypto and blockchain technology? Because what I've seen and heard so far is that there's like little pockets of tech companies that are creating really great tools. It's not all integrated all on one like platform. Everybody's got different platforms and different cryptocurrencies that they're basing their technology around. So is it going to be fragmented like our advertising industry is right now, where we've got all these different silos and platforms? Or do you think that everybody's moving towards the same goal? What's the kind of future state of play?
I think on one side, everybody is trying to build their own thing, like their own token. But the overarching architecture of this will be that you can cross, well, I don't know what.
There'll be like open APIs.
Yes, they can work with each other. Basically, There's nothing stopping from me creating a token for my casino, but then a separate casino using my casino's token as a payment method for their casino. So there's nothing really against that.
So we're going to see a lot of changes happen probably in the next 5 years. We need to start looking at how we can integrate blockchain and crypto into our platforms, into our businesses. We need to start thinking about how we can leverage this technology and the fast-paced payment with transparency and actually build that community around our brands as well. I think it's a really interesting discussion, and hopefully everybody here listening to us has actually found a little bit of tidbits and information that maybe they didn't hear before, because if you're not looking at this every day, it's passing you by and you're not actually paying attention as to what the next big thing is. And what's the one piece of advice that you can give to everybody listening to this? If they're interested, where do they begin? Where do they go? What's the next step if they want to keep ahead of this and not be left behind 5 years from now?
Go and find a community that's interesting for you and that is already utilizing these aspects, like they're using crypto somehow, and just take a look how it all works. And maybe we'll get some ideas how to do something similar. So one really good place to go and take a look is in Telegram. So in the world in general, there is this trend of these super apps going on. So Telegram has almost 1 billion users around the world. So it has lots of these crypto communities, but it also has, I don't know, whatever you can think of. So it has probably a community around that. So you just have to find it. And very often these communities are also like somehow centered around crypto. For example, Telegram has its own cryptocurrency called TON. And what's also cool is that if you have a community and you run it inside Telegram, you can also basically have some small websites inside Telegram. So it can be an iGaming brand, but it can also be like an online store or like, I don't know, car rental or whatever you come up with.
So that gives affiliates listening to this podcast a couple of ideas to go and have a look at. Go check out Telegram, go see how you can use the crypto wallet that's linked to Telegram to actually build the community around your own brand. The thing that's interesting for me, though, is that if you want to get into the space, you're going to have to go look for it. Like there isn't just one place where you can go and learn everything that you need to know about crypto and blockchain and the use cases for it. So you're going to have to be hungry. You're going to have to go and look for the information, and you're probably going to have to weed through a whole bunch of rubbish too, because I'm sure everybody's got an opinion about what's happening in the space. But I think the main thing is keep looking ahead, because if Roman is telling us that in 5 years' time, blockchain and crypto is going to be widely adopted across the internet and across multiple industries, I don't think you can afford to not look at it right now and think about how you integrate some of this stuff to build community around your affiliate programs, around the brands, around your stores, whatever it is that you're doing, because we do speak to a really wide audience. This has been an incredibly insightful discussion for me, Roman. So thank you very much for sharing your experience with us here today. Before we wrap it up, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I think the trend for super apps is like one thing I'm looking forward to. Maybe a second thing that we didn't talk about that goes into the crypto aspect is smart contracts. And a thing to look into is if we talk about sports betting, then how I think in the future, smart contracts will revolutionize how that will work as well. But
I think we probably need another whole session on smart contracts. We're excited to see what comes next. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Stay tuned for more episodes where we're going to be exploring the future of crypto, blockchain, Web3, and beyond. It's been a pleasure to have you here today, Roman. Thanks so much for being on the podcast. Do you hear that? That's the sound of your affiliate program skyrocketing. Intrigued? Then you need to know about Affiverse magazine. This isn't just another industry publication. It's your personal affiliate marketing powerhouse. Imagine having a mentor, a strategist, a productivity coach, all rolled into one sleek square package that sits right on your desk, helping you to grow your affiliate program every single quarter. Affiverse magazine is the quarterly toolkit you've been dreaming of. It's packed with cutting-edge insights, expert interviews, and a full promotional calendar brimming with ideas to keep you ahead of the curve. But here's where it gets really exciting. We've included guided planning sheets and goal-setting tools that turn your big ideas into actionable steps. It's like having an accountability partner that never sleeps. Whether you're mapping out your next big campaign or planning your affiliate conference schedule, the Affiverse magazine keeps you on track and fired up. And the best part? This game-changing resource is available to you to download digitally or order in print. But wait, there's more. Join our exclusive club and you'll get the premium print edition delivered to your door every single quarter. Plus, you'll unlock a treasure trove of perks, including live strategy sessions with industry titans and VIP access to our in-person events. Don't let another quarter slip by without the secret weapon in your arsenal. Head to affiversemedia.com, click on the magazine button at the top of the homepage, and order your print copy of the Affiverse magazine today. Your desk, your affiliates, and your business will thank you.